Okay, so this is the third of our recordings for today, March 1st. So this time I'm the observer.
I'm the coachee.
Shirley is the coachee.
And I'm the
Andrea
coach.
is the coach.
Okay, so hi Shirley.
Hi, Andrea.
How was your lunch?
It was good. It was good. Not too bad. Actually, I do want to just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I think it's good to, we've all started talking, actually us two talked about the group dynamic compared to the last
No.
module. So I also have some sort of similar issue, would you say, but like, or concern. So my last module, module 18, I think the age range was slightly older. We had 6 people. 3 people were slightly older or similar age. And then I think the youngest was probably like 29 or something. Whereas this module, there are 3 that are under 28. And then, yeah, so only 5 people, but so the I think the age dynamic has changed a bit. That's something I've noticed quite a bit. And what I'm noticing is that the last group, I think everyone sort of has similar, more experiences, and then a little bit more agility and empathy, I find, like to talk about a little bit things and express it a little bit more. This module, the team, because 3 people are younger, they're just, when I was young, I was pretty, blunt as well. Yeah. I would say blunt, quick, blunt, more dominant in that sense. Like, the personality that we did, I would have been more dominant as well. I think I would have been the dominant in my 20s, but now in my 30s, I've become the influencer, so manipulation rather than just saying outright. And I think it comes with age too. Being more sensitive to other people and knowing that you can't just deal with things because you think you're right and you just blunt out tell people, because people get affected, right? Other people get affected whether you get affected or not. Other people do. And I think, especially from my working experience this last couple of years, being in China, you can't say things for the way they are. You have to give people face too, especially in the Chinese culture. So that's something I've noticed a little bit different in this group dynamic. And I guess my concern is that this group tends to be a little bit faster and more blunt, like as in like, come on, you gotta keep, this is the way it is, here. Whereas my last group, we would talk about a lot of things more thoroughly. I think more thoroughly is something that I feel the difference. Whereas this group, it's just like, okay, this. Not that it's just a different dynamic. It's not something I think it's a problem, but I think I need to adapt to it a little bit more. The last module, the teams were similar to me, or even people who are even older than me, quite a few people older than me. I was actually more in the younger range, whereas this group, I'm in more of the older range, not the oldest, but older range. So I'm noticing that shift dynamic, and I guess one of my concern is, okay, how do I adapt to this more? Do I have to think quicker on my feet, or am I actually right thinking this, wanting to get this right more than jumping into conclusion or jumping into other theories or jumping into, okay, this is what we want to do for our slides now. Like because in my last group, I question it more, and then people, the receptiveness for my questioning was actually more welcome than I feel like in this group. My questioning, people are like, well, yeah, because of this. I'm like, well, tell me more about this, because I'm not linking it together. So I guess, I don't know, maybe I have to keep up, or maybe I just have to understand that they have their train of thought, but it's not as receptive, I find. Wanting people to explain, how does this lead to this, or want to expand a bit more on certain issues or certain theory of how we constructed this idea and the flow of our presentation, let's say. So the last group was very good at just making sure everyone understands we're on the same page, and if someone had, even Roberto, we would talk through it with them. Maybe we were faster, right, for his pace, so I think we were very empathetic, and so we would walk him through. Whereas here, it's just like people jump faster even, right?
Yeah.
And I'm feeling maybe I'm Roberto in that group, like, oh, wait, no, this does not translate to this to me. We need to explain it a bit, or maybe even because maybe you jump to it and you're it's right, but you need to walk me through because other people might think like me too. Like, okay, this does not equal to this. So yeah, I guess that's a concern. I guess that I'm facing, and it's kind of similar to Alex's. The two dynamic is quite different, and you just have to like think about how to adapt, right? Or even try it out. But I'm happy that like this group is younger and they're all very more techie. So I'm not a techie person, right? Or I worked with BlackBerry, but I'm not like in the tech area. It was still very much marketing based. So I'm getting more of that personality here, a more innovative sort of design or different solution approach to things. Yeah.
And do you feel like you said there are 3 people that are younger and they're more like the basic ones?
Yeah. And then I think all 3 of them we analyzed. They're all dominant too.
Oh, okay.
They say they're in the dominant.
The dominant side of
the personality, and then the older people are the influencer and the conscientious. So, and I think it comes with probably shifts around my age.
Yeah, it comes also. Age is a major factor, I think, also in that. But do you think like you said, like you're in 6 people in the group. How about the other 2? Like, do you think they are also in the same situation that you are?
Right now we have 5, so 3 are younger and more blunt. I would say from my angle. The other one, the older, no, he's not blunt. He's not blunt, but. We're all in the same realm. But I think because the older one has a bit of more solution task-driven role before, so I think he gets it faster too, because certain theory of what they use is probably more tech-oriented, of how they approach certain problems, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah.
And do you guys talked about like your strength and your weakness at the beginning of the module, so everyone could understand a little bit better?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely told them my strength and weakness, and what I want to improve, and what I've been good at before. Yeah, definitely did that.
Okay, and have you talked about this with your team, like the fact that maybe you are looking in a different way that they're looking at, like you're, as I understood, you're looking more in a critical way, like thinking a lot on the details when they are like just like this is it, like okay, I'm gonna do it without maybe thinking as much as they should.
I think I hinted at it earlier. I hinted at it, but I guess if everyone's sort of excited about a certain idea, I don't necessarily want to be like, okay, guys, gotta stop. I don't want to do that, because obviously everyone's excited about something. It's a good flow to keep the motivation and like come up with great ideas, because usually when you're excited, you come up even better, and people start like having being motivated and having different ideas to a certain problem. So I didn't necessarily want to stop that. I kind of just went with it. I'm like, okay. And they even asked me like, are you okay with this? I'm like, yeah. I mean, there's a few jargons here that I don't understand, that probably is something I've never touched on before in my life, but that's all good. Let's just keep going. Yeah. So I kind of just like, put it down under the sweep it under the rug. I just didn't want, like, I'm a very team-oriented person too, right? Like, I just want to make sure the team keeps going. So I didn't want to be I don't want to be, I should say, what is it, the objector?
Okay.
Is it the objector?
The devil's advocate?
Yeah, the person that's like, wait, hold on. This is not, this probably isn't. Wait, the
one that is
I don't want to
not
be
against,
that person,
but like
yeah.
they're gonna
that challenges.
Yeah, the challenge. Yeah.
The challenges it. So.
That could be also like something that can make everyone improve, because like in a workplace, there is always someone, especially the bosses, that are more challenging, like oriented, like they used to try to challenge you or to see like, okay, this is not right, like or to make sure to prove not only like that you did the work, but also why and why it's right to do it like that. And what I was gonna ask, like, in a way, like, how do you feel with this? Like, if you had to describe a feeling, like thinking about your.
I think at first, when I feel like everything's moving way too fast and haven't thought this through, I feel uncomfortable. But everyone's so excited, right? Well, at least half of them are excited. So I just, keep. Maybe there's something I'm getting, and they're trying to direct it already. And maybe let's see the outcome of this first, and then before I say, okay, stop. So I kind of just go with the flow and see, because I'm pretty open and receptive too, right? I just feel like, okay, but sometimes I can't link them together, or I can't connect certain dots. And maybe they're just one step ahead too, right? So maybe I sometimes let them finish whatever they're trying to like achieve and conclude the presentation flow and like the solution, problem, solution, and then seeing, okay, I think I get you. Now that they put it together, I'm like, okay, I get why you did that. But when we were just conceptualizing it, at that time, certain things weren't making sense to me. Leading to certain conclusion. But yeah, I think, at least today, it seemed like everything still came through. Yeah, but I think sometimes at that moment, I get uncomfortable. I'm like, no, wait, no. Okay, but should we maybe think this through first? Yeah. Maybe I just have to let things happen.
No, I don't think like because like we're all here to learn in a way, so I think it's useful like how to understand like different minds, how they work, how they are pacing. But I think also like challenging. I don't know if you feel like is this have the same opinion, can work not only for you to understand maybe better how they are thinking, but also help them understand how the world actually thinks, because I think that the majority, like it's usually is an age thing, but there are usually 2 or 3 kinds of people in the workplace, and those are one of those one that are more techy, more like oriented to solve the things as fast as they can, and the other that are more critical. So like I think that all that can show them a different size that exists in the world, and also help you to not only see their side, but also like to understand more.
And one of the reasons why obviously coming back to business school was to see people with a different approach, right? So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to let this through first and see what they come up with, and maybe at the end it might make sense. And it did actually make more sense to me when I saw the compiling of sort of a conclusion and all that. It kind of did flow at the end to me. Yeah, but in the beginning, I was like, okay, I don't see how this links to this, but we'll just go with what they're going. Yeah. So that was just something that but it was, I guess, similar to him, that I felt it was a very obvious differences from my last group and this one. My last group was quite mature. This group is just probably more innovative, right?
Or entrepreneur.
Well, entrepreneur, probably.
And like we said with Alex, that a way, like that we have these 2 assignments to like understand how the team works.
A trial to think.
Yeah, like a trial. But I feel like there is a difference between Alex's issue, and
Yeah.
and yours like his
Yeah.
is more like a way of work. I think
Yeah.
yours is more like
The dynamic.
The dynamic, yeah. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know if how do you feel like you can not solve the issue, but like face in a way, because it's something that for sure is gonna show something on the next 2 assignments, but I don't know if it's gonna really show what you want to see or.
Well, maybe like you're saying, like see what outcomes we come from this, because we haven't really done anything like a very solid deliverable of some sort yet, right? For a project. It's only the next week that we will. And we're in the midst of doing that right now. So maybe I'll see what the outcome is. And different team dynamic produces different type of work, right? Different greatness of different work. So yeah, no. But I think probably the solution will be the same. Just see it, and maybe maybe ask the team to have a reflection after the first assignment, and then kind of review it and see what worked well for people, to get everyone's opinion, what didn't work well for them, so that we can accommodate in some way, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it's very new too, right? I was even thinking an issue this morning, I couldn't think of it, and then today it happened. So maybe that's why I made it even more magnifying. I'm like, okay, this is something I can talk about, and then I just probably, it's not like something that keeps occurring. It's just maybe today it happened. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm comfortable with this approach right now. And then I magnify it because I know I can talk about it, so I think it through more. So yeah, yes, cool.
And if you want to talk about one thing that I wanted to say, like, do you think like you're gaining? I know it's been like only like a few. Well, it's been a month, but like we didn't met as much with the teams. I think as much as we want to. But do you think like you're in a way gaining something from the team, and also giving your strengths to the team? Because that's, I think, the most important thing here. Like it's the possibility to improve with the help of the others, and also show like to the others your strengths, so you can also help them improve.
I think more of the, what you call it, like our professor had the test on the EQ. I think I'm definitely more like my EQ seems to be a lot higher, or more emotionally intelligent and aware than a lot of people, I would say. Just more of a people-oriented person anyways, right? And being more interpersonal. But sometimes I guess it wouldn't be able to come through as much in the team working together. I don't think, because it's not usually like, because we're making a project and delivery, right? So I don't know if that would help in that sense. Maybe like if it's something more to do with like I was always good with sales, like connecting with people. So, but that's usually a lot one-on-one and kind of presentation. Probably presentation would be easier for me to contribute my strength. And yeah, I think that's probably one. Is that kind of the question? Yeah.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the important thing is like
Maybe like you're saying, like maybe it's too much sensitivity or something. Maybe I don't need to be that sensitive about it. Maybe I'm magnifying it today because I thought, oh, I can talk about this. I think about it more, process it in my head more. I'm like, okay, you need to think about it through more and then share it with your group. So yes.
You good?
help.
Are you good?
No.
Do you help?
You good?
I think so, a little bit, yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. Just think about like my strength as well, right? Like it's not, obviously it's just different team dynamic right now, so just be aware of that. And then the last one works pretty well for me. For I think working with most people, because I think the last group, most people's, the younger people, which I was in that cohort, thought more like me, had the same similar thought process. So maybe it's good learning. Like, okay, this is how I, you know, as you go back to a workplace, you have to work with young people, right? Who are like more tech savvy or more have that type of approach to things. So that's definitely a good practice now to know this dynamic. Yes. Thank you. Observer.
Bless you.
Observer.
All right,
Thanks.
that's a good place to finish. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Shirley did a really good job of sort of articulating how she was feeling. Like you didn't have to prompt her too much for things.
Yeah.
So I think it really came out. Probably because it's still fresh in your mind, right? To that point, I would say that you do, I think, have a high amount of self-awareness and emotional self-knowledge, right? Like you don't need Andrea or somebody to tell you how you're feeling in these situations or what you think is going, like what you think you're portraying and so on. You seem to be pretty aware that like, okay, I'm feeling this because this is what I'm receiving and that sort of thing. So that's pretty good. You're emotionally articulate. I think it was a good point that you made, Andrea, to ask how Shirley was feeling about some of the things. Because at some point, like, I was kind of putting myself in your shoes, like, okay, I'm not sure what to prompt her with next. Because she was saying, like, you know, I'm feeling, you know, that this is the way the dynamic is and this is the way it's going. And it was like, or she said, you know, this is the way the dynamic is going. And then you were able to say, like, well, okay, it's sort of the classic, you know, psychologist question, how does that make you feel? You know?
Mirroring the question,
yeah,
it makes
yeah.
you feel sad?
Yeah, a little bit. No, but it,
Yeah,
it
like
was right because it got Shirley to sort of open up about the emotional side. So you, I think, prompted that, and then you really expressed, you know, well how that was going. I thought also it was good too on the constructive side that you talked about, you know, sort of reminding Shirley of her strengths and what she brings to the table, right? You have this sort of like younger, older thing that you're recognizing, and you're thinking like, well, maybe because they're younger and I'm older, that this is the way our personalities are and stuff. It could also just be that this is just how their personalities are, and you know, you may have softened over time or whatever like that, but yeah.
Because I do think that when I was younger too, in my 20s, I was closer to how they would approach things, like faster and fast and like done.
Yeah, like more certain about things.
Yeah, and a little bit more, dominant.
So it's totally possible. You know, leading is not only just pulling people. Sometimes you just have to steer them, right? You know, if you got workers and you got sort of, you know, you got the engines that are going, you just have to drive the car. You just have to point them in the right direction and stuff. And that's an experience thing. I think that's an age thing that maybe you can play to that strength. You know, like let the young guys run if they want, but you you help them chart the course, that kind of thing. So, you know, it's good that you sort of have that open mind that, okay, I'll see how things go and, you know, keep an open mind and not just say like, oh, I'm going to shut down because they're not listening to what I'm saying, that kind of thing. So that's really good. But it was good that you reminded Shirley of the strengths and so on, because, you know, it's important to, you know, to just say out loud that it's like, no, you bring a lot to the table, and just because other people are sort of leading the discussion and stuff, not to forget that, you know, you have a lot to offer and you can make the team better. So anyway, I thought that was good stuff on both your parts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a long one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.